I hope you walk off a cliff while driving because that's the sentiment felt by all tech support. This is like bye bye tech when you don't even know. I am not a teacher, I'm not a PhD, I'm not even a graduate of Carnegie Mellon University. But as soon as you fix technology, they think you're a fucking genius, which I am not. So all I can do is recommend ways to kill yourself. You know? As a Catholic, the only way, valid way in all this for me to kill myself is through fasting, which means that normally I eat food and then I stop eating food and then prayer because I'm being tortured by the forces of the devil, of evil, of Satan, of Lucifer, the beast of Revelation, any bad guy you can imagine. Right now, my current opponent is Bette Midler, for some reason. I don't remember insulting her, and I'm a big fan of all her movies, but it's a random draw of the hat. Nate Mendez versus Bette Midler. My usual thing here is you win because you're Bette Midler. You have name brand recognition. Who am I? However, I gotta make a triad. Because I keep singing things like, you can fly higher than an eagle, and you are the wind beneath my wings. Earlier in another stream, like, these Muslim kids, even though we can't go against Islam, we're praying for you. Hopefully you'll become one. Be happy, bro. This thing, I know there's a lot of kids are saying bro and sis and all that. And it's just a compulsion word. Believe me, I know this. That's my St. Michael candle. So far, so good. The fire department didn't kick it over. And I asked them, it's like, listen, where I am, I want to do like keep a candle lit. And how do I keep it lit without it being kicked over? And then, first they said embankment. But there's not going to be an armed guard watching, like, the tomb of the unknown soldier or the White House. So all I have are rats. The rats themselves will probably kick this over. And a lot of times people see free candle, I'll take it home. So what I'm going to do is bodyguard it with my spit. You know? Now, that doesn't mean I'm insulting. If you're a very powerful archangel, you won't be insulted by spit. Far from it. It's just like your token due. You're weak, pitiful, and a creature. Of course you would use your water against a being of fire. What were you going to do? Magic? I'd be surprised if any angel made out of fire is insulted by me. Do I have like 90 trillion gallons of water to douse them? No, I don't. I have at best these birds. So cute. So anyway, I forgot the names of the kids already, but they took the lesson really quickly. They asked me, of all people, are you happy? Of course not. I'm very unhappy. I'm glad, I'm rejoicing in my heart that they can ask questions like that. Because nothing pleases a parent more than like their kid asking, Mom, Dad, are you happy? And then they get to offload a little bit of that trauma to their children. That's what children are all about, you know? I seen like a lady yesterday in the laundry. She has 4 daughters. And then I was like, oh my God, all 4 are going to get pregnant. Not around that mother. The eldest was taking care of the baby girl and watching over the 2. So you get a little bit of help. And here we are with the 5 chatters. Honestly, when it rains, it pours. So I'm your resident imam. All hail me, Imam Nathaniel Mendez. Any questions about the Quran? Because I forgot to read all of it. Any hadith that you're having trouble with? Usually it's the one, like the Catholics and the Christians, rail at you is like, well, Muhammad married a 6-year-old girl. So, what you do is learn the word so in English. So, your mom, or something like that. And then you say, in a trillion years, however old Muhammad was, and however old Aisha was, there'll be a trillion years older. So let's say Muhammad was 45 and Aisha was 6. In a trillion years, Muhammad will be a trillion and 45 years old, and Aisha will be a trillion and 6 years old. At that point, it's more important to focus on the trillion years. Can you even imagine being married to the same woman for a trillion years? I can. I don't know about you guys. I found my one girl. So, don't let Christians bully you. I'm your imam, okay? I haven't really been to synagogue or mosque or anything. Like, wherever I am is a holy ground. So, you guys are especially curious and quiet. I'm wondering why. And also, I do tech support for iPhones. You know, don't buy an iPhone if you don't know how to fucking use it. That's what I'm gonna say. Just use a stick, hit somebody who has an iPhone. You know, think of us as camels. You know how to ride a camel. You're camel jockeys. I hope this isn't too racist or xenophobic, but this world is going to shit. You guys are part of the fastest growing religion of all time, but when you go too fast, I saw a mother. It's like, when I say stop, you stop. And then the kid fell and almost broke his nose. And I was like, yeah, serves you right. Listen to your mom. That's why imam, you know? Yesterday was Imam's Day. Did you say happy Imam Day to your mom? No. A lot of you Zoomers is like, I talked to the mom. That's disrespectful. These are elders. It's Imam. You don't just say, hey mom. You make a new rank. A lot of them won't tell you this because, I'm probably the newest minted. I don't know what I'm doing. The imams that I talk to, they tell me the relevant hadith, and it's like, okay, let's go with that. You know more than me. You studied the Quran. I couldn't quote chapter and verse. I barely can quote my Apple passwords. Hackers like you guys, though, you know all about the passwords, but don't get hurt. You will get hurt. A lot of scammers get hurt. They scam the wrong person and they're hanging upside down near a weed whacker. Like, where did I go wrong? Probably you scammed the wrong person. Or you tried to kidnap the wrong person. The thing with crime, it doesn't pay, kids. But it's like in the neighborhood, they're rich and powerful. That's family. That's genetics. That's bloodline. They were genetically suited for crime. You are not. You might think you are, but you're not. You wouldn't be in my stream. Well, thank you for saying goodbye, Jody Key. Is that you? Is like a couple, a happily married couple. Cute. Well, go be cute all day. A lot of times people say, I'm leaving, but then they take a seat and just watch you. People never leave. They just wait. Bai is the name of a god, a pagan god, a Babylonian. Just like God, the God is a name of a Babylonian god of fortune. It's very confusing. So when people say bye, they summon their Babylonian god and it's like, oh, it's you again. I'm Nate. Don't ever call me Nat because I fucking hate that. You want to call somebody Nat, go to Natalie Portman. She has a Nat's book club. U.S. and China agreed to drastically reduce tariffs. Every time I do one of these live streams, something political happens. I don't know. I just try to iPhone, Apple, Eagle support. How may I redirect your call? Because, what is this? Is this our thing? That's our greeting now. Bye. Bye. Practice this. You can summon a Babylonian god. You're like Mystery Babylon. Bye is going to be so pissed at me. Nate, why did you teach all these morons how to summon me? Because it's funnier that way. The third person who says bye will summon bye for real. Now, I know all these script kiddies. It's like, so if we dial 911, the cops come, right? Pretty much. Every time you type bye, it translates to 911. If you're American, you know how this goes. If you're foreign or from outside of America, you're in for a surprise. It's like self-deporting. As you can see, the numbers have been culled. The 911 personnel are slowly escorting these kids. If you ever watch Hackers 1995, it's like Dade Murphy did this and he did that. And then, they took away all his internet privileges. I know kids these days, if they take away your iPad, it's like, oh my God, you're the most unfair parent of all time. I bet you imams are the same way. No mosque for you. Like, I didn't want to be in mosque anyway. And then later, a week later, it's like, hey, did you know what we did at mosque? Oh, that's right, you were banned. There's a lot of fun stuff to do in mosque, I think. I have no idea what goes on there. They either whip you to death or, like, with me, I'll tell you guys, all those years ago, the Saudi, dragged me through the desert for like a trillion miles. So after like 6 million miles, you learn. First is face down. The sun is just burning. But after a while, you learn. It's like if I just flex a little bit and you elevate your face off the sand. So then now you're coasting, right? You know? And then soon you stand up. And then you're like, the sand surfing. And then they stop the car because they're like, what are you doing? Trying to have fun in a very difficult situation. And they're like, so can do that every time? Pretty much. You know, I've gotten to the point where this body, if you drag me through the sand, I'll probably die. But all them years ago in the beginning, boy, that was fun. It's just like right now, if you took a rock and dragged it through the Sahara, you'll have a very smooth rock. Yeah, ask your Saudi friends. They like take your Escalade, chain a rock to it, and then go drive. I mean, they practically wreck all of their cars in Dubai. It's like, just like the Chinese. We're bad drivers, all of us. We get in an accident, we get into the next car. It's a safe car. Okay, so that's the thing. All of you must say bye, or I'm going to leave now, based on Jody Key, who looks like a nice American family, in all honesty. Very white. Okay? Now, if you pester the Babylonian god by a lot, he'll send all his Babylonian goons, probably hold you upside down, and take all your money. Again, that's why I don't. Hey, pal. Here, you want to see Bai? This is my friend. This is the Babylonian goddess Bai.
No, put me on camera.
No, no, you're fine. I only have $1, Bai, but she smiled for you.
I get all your shorts. I know it's you over here
Yeah,
smoking. I come later and I pick them all
you
up.
might get stronger. Watch out for that.
I come every week.
I make sure I leave a lot of shorts. I don't even finish it. Everything's good. Happy Mother's Day if you are.
I'm not a mom, but thank you.
Well, Happy Father's Day coming up, 15. Okay, stay safe. Don't get hurt. So that's how you summon the Babylonian goddess Bai. Okay, sometimes it's goons, but then I've talked with her a couple of times. And I give her $1 and it's good. She's always glad to see me because I leave a lot of shorts. Sometimes I leave a pack too. So I hope you all say bye. If she comes near you, you know what she looks like now, boys and girls. She might wear a big nose, or she'll look like Brock Lesnar. Who knows? It depends on what your fear is. If you don't want to say bye to somebody, like if you love somebody, and she has cancer or she's dying of a terminal illness, you don't want to say bye. Because bye will eat that person's soul. So what I do is I embrace my ability to summon bye and try to get the good bye, not the evil bye. You know, you rarely see in all this, well, say evil bye to all your money, you can sound like a retard. You say goodbye to all your money, that sounds menacing, intimidating even. Okay? I try to summon the goodbye, just like all of you. But I could summon the evil bye. Alright? So you're learning? Learning how to leave me alone, zero chatter, zero likes. Very good, very good. I do this for a lot of the bust who may or may not have protected me. Either way, at least I wake up every day, I'm still alive. I'm not completely hurt. It's just, there's something called spirit wives with the hoodoo and the Africans and the Jamaicans. And, if you're the strongest entity of all time and it's like, you don't have anyone better when I'm asleep, No, you're the best. And I was like, fuck, I gotta work. You know what I mean? Hey, Ratty. Look, look at my red friend. Notice they don't like attack me and gouge out my eyes. I consider that friendship. The birds too. The pigeons don't fly right into my face and peck my eyes out. That's what friendship is all about, really. So, since I've successfully. Oh, they ate it. I didn't know you would eat it. I hope St. Michael stays up. Now, you see this? This is the homework for Algebra 1 in January 2023. And I'm going to read this to all of you. Maybe you could take a screenshot. Whoever wrote this is an asshole. Part 2. Answer all 8 questions in this part. Each correct answer will receive 2 credits. Clearly indicate the necessary steps, including appropriate formula substitutions, diagrams, graphs, charts, etc. Utilize the information provided for each question to determine your answer. Note that diagrams are not necessarily drawn to scale. For all questions in this part, a correct numerical answer with no work shown will receive only 1 credit. All answers should be written in pen, except for graphs and drawings, which should be done in pencil. Source 16. Now, I'm testing the YouTube caption algorithm and Grok and Meta AI and Open AI and ChatGPT if they can do this. There is something called, I don't know, there's an online calculator, Gematrix or something, some mathematical search engine. So, question number 25 is graph the function g parentheses x close parentheses equals square root of x plus 3 on the set of axes below. And you can see the person graphed it. Not bad. Only 4 data points. These graph papers are too integer based for you to zoom in unless you label the axes. See? So you came in at the right time, 2 people. Solve all this for me. And here's the thing, if you're a psychic or you chew tarot cards, I want you to solve all the papers behind it. Sight unseen. You get the first question, all the other questions are a mystery. Okay? Or you just write bye. Some people just leave my stream without even saying bye. Jody Key and Kia Tally, well, pretty much, are the leaders. If they were India and Pakistan, those hi friend, enjoy perfect muffin. Again, such friendly rats here. They don't eat me. That's the kind of thing you look for in a rat. Do you eat me? No, you don't eat me. So this is what is called a Newport, and this is what is called a V8. I'm gonna see. As you can see, it doesn't fit. I would like to make this fit. Obviously, it doesn't fit. I don't know if you can see it. See? You just take your normal cigarette box and your normal thing. Now, the only way to make this fit is you squeeze it in the middle, and then you flip it like this, and squeeze it again, and flip it like that, and then you kind of sort it. It doesn't fit. And you have this. This is like you trying to understand me. I'm the equivalent of a 256K USB. I can only hold text files. It's like yes, wrong, whatever. I just noticed a lot of sand here. So, I don't know if you can see, I just stamped it. Instead of getting sand, I'm going to put my St. Benedict medal right here. Okay? And I'm going to see if I can make an impression. and lift. It won't make that much of an impression, but you can kind of see that it's a Saint Benedict medal. It's very temporary. I'm gonna see what happens. This is how blacksmithing started out. All these people coming home from war. I'm gonna kill myself. Wait a minute. What if you built swords? Swords are nice. Also, here you go. So, answer all 8 questions in this part. Okay, this is 25, the first question. Your job is to figure out what the other 7 questions are. Sight unseen. It should be very easy because you do tarot. Like, I've seen a lot of tarot streams and like, you will meet a tall, dark, handsome stranger. Okay, what is the third question in part 2? Then they'll be like, it's unclear. The spirits are not answering, especially the math spirits and the teacher spirits. Then you know they're bullshit. Always have a bullshit question. Like, call them out on all their bullshit. If they have those big oversized tarot cards, they have a big oversized idea of how to scam you out of your money. Which is fine. Sometimes there are legitimate users of tarot, but it's divination. So there is no legitimate use of tarot. Either you know or you don't know. Either you're a truth teller or you're a scammer. It's very binary in this world. Either you're India or you're Pakistan. They'll give you that kind of choice. Now the busters, they get a break from me all day because they had a very nice Mother's Day or an Imam's Day yesterday. Most people are like, Mom, cheesy poos. Imam, cheesy poos. Let's see how far you get with that. You don't tell an Imam what to do in all this. They've studied far longer and sacrificed more than all you kiddies with your cheesy poos. So, in the Western world, and you can see, the farther I get from my tree, the more bold the rat gets. And then the exterminators would be like, hey, you're enabling this. Who said I'm here to save all of you? I'm here to condemn all of you. There's a person called Kate of Gaia. You're expecting Jesus to be the savior? I changed the rules. He's going to condemn all the evil and wicked people. So I'm included in that. I'm just waiting for the Lord Jesus Christ to start condemning me so I can learn more condemnation. Custom nation, actually. And I hear you guys like to customize all your games with add-ons. Especially Baldur's Gate 3. Maybe if I was going to do an add-on, it'd be like a faith meter. Atheists would get 0. Agnostics would probably get -0. Who knows with that shit? Muslims would get about a 39. As a Catholic, I fudge it like a trillion. Christians would probably get 40. Just a little bit more than Muslims. Hindus, maybe 27. If you're going to cheat hard, Like, all Catholics have over several trillion Bitcoin worth of faith. And then, if you want concrete numbers, Muslims have 39. If you don't like it, make your own video game where Muslims have over several trillion units of faith and Catholics only have 39. I'm pretty okay with that. As long as you compete, I want you to be greater than Baldur's Gate 3. Whatever Muslim video game you make. Because I'm contending against one of your greatest champions. I knew her in high school, so it's like the equivalent of Vivek. She is very, very, very good. You might know her, Jaisha. I remember her from high school. She's grown in power all this time. And she's very free Palestinian. The only thing I would ask all my classmates is, if you're so good, what are you doing in prison on planet Earth? Because that's me. I'm in prison. What's your excuse, You're making the best out of a bad situation. You wake up here, you're the best of a dog shit planet. And I know I'm the worst. I belong here. But why is the best stuck here? I think all the best people challenged the wrong people and they got in prison. Small fish, big pond, big fish, small pond. There's a reunion coming up, and now I know why I'm not coming. Simply because of Jaisha. She's on Instagram too. She's very, very powerful now. He's like Hitler. You know, why didn't you kill baby Hitler? I didn't know. It's a crack shoot, you know? Who's gonna be like most eligible to lead all of Islam as a woman? Jaisha. She went to Stein. There's a certain standard of excellence in my year, 1995. I take one look at her, what she's done. It's like, what are you doing on planet Earth? It's like, is somebody applying to my company? Yes, I was president of the United States from 0 AD to a trillion years from now. I also beat Tom Brady in an arm wrestling match. Great, all of that is wonderful. What are you doing here in this shithole? Who put you here? I'm curious about faults. So bye, you know.